Hi, this is Lee Amos with Conservation Foundation of the Gulf Coast, and today I'm at Pine Island Preserve at Matlacha Pass, checking on a restoration project to restore salt marsh and essential habitat for juvenile tarpon and snook. Here behind me is a salt pan or a salt flat, and it's a type of high salt marsh that's really important and very rare in Florida because back in the 60s they dug all these mosquito ditches and permanently harmed the salt pan. So this is how a salt pan works. Here we have the salt pan behind me, and it's a sort of a low depression, and the tides wash in periodically and go into this depression, and the tide water is trapped there. The sun evaporates the water and the salt stays behind. This happens over and over again, so much so that the salt accumulates and it becomes hypersaline, very salty, so much so that the vegetation really can't survive. And you can see these salt crystals in this white sand right on the surface. This is a salt pan, and they are really degraded and destroyed when ditches are dug through them, so that when the tide water comes in, it drains back out through the ditch and it never gets trapped in the salt pan. So our restoration project is going to plug these ditches that were dug and trap the salt water again so that the salt pan can function. This one behind me is happy, but we have other areas where the salt pan was ditched, the water drained, the saltiness went away, and it reverted to a mangrove forest, which is okay, but it's not ideal. We want to restore this very rare habitat because it's essential for wading birds. Wading birds come to these areas specifically certain times of the year to feed. And the reason is that all the fishes come in with the salt water, and they get into this bowl, and the water evaporates, and they become trapped. And that high density of fish is what many wading birds require for feeding. For instance, the wood stork, they're a tactile feeder, and with their beaks they feel in the water and catch fish just by touch. So if the density of fish isn't great enough, you can imagine it's very difficult for them to feel around and grab a fish. So they're relying on habitats where fish are concentrated in little puddles, just like this salt pan. And unless we're able to restore these wetlands that were drained way back when, we'll continue to find that species such as the wood stork are in decline and don't really have a future. Please, if you haven't already, visit conservationfoundation.com, like us on Facebook, Conservation Foundation of the Gulf Coast, or visit our Instagram page, Conservation Foundation GC. There you can learn more about these natural communities, our efforts to protect land, to save Florida, and enjoy the things we love. Thank you so much. Again, this is Lee Amos, having fun in the field. Bye.